Okay. Alex is here, and that is because we're gonna be covering the Cody Ko situation. Now, I just want to start off by apologizing for hiding the truth, sheltering you from the truth for so long. It's not gonna be a funny thing at all, by the way. No. I don't know why you wanted to be a part of it, but D'Angelo Wallace had a good video on it. As far as I understand, Cody Ko, for those of you who don't know, because a lot of you are in here for serious news and commentary. Cody Ko is a YouTuber. He's a beloved YouTuber with a massive audience. I've known him for like 10 years. I met him a long time ago. I mean, we're not like super close or anything, but I have known him for 10 plus years almost at this point. And something that I did not know about him was what he apparently did when he was 25 years old to a 17-year-old, also very famous at the time, content creator, Tana Mojo. I already it up. I should do it again. I need a do-over. God damn it. Okay. Anyway, let's let D'Angelo Wallace take it away.
All right, Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, Tana Mojo. And you...
Okay, first of all, right off the jump, I disagree. I don't think Tana Mojo is an unlikable woman. I think she's very likable. You guys should watch the episode of the Fear and podcast that we had with her. I mean, I think she was an unlikable woman.
Yeah, she definitely turned a page.
Yeah, but
she's got a massive audience as well.
Yeah, she has a massive. Even in this, I mean, look at this. She has like almost the same number of subscribers as Cody does.
Yeah, well.
She was definitely a very controversial and very unliked person for some time, but I don't think she's like that anymore. She's actually grown up quite a bit.
What was annoying as well when everyone hated her, she was like exactly the same as Jake Paul, like that same kind of annoying person.
Yeah,
but everyone just hated her more. Like,
oh, that's because she was a girl.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what it is. Also, she said the N-word, right? Isn't that what it was? And then iDub said the N-word to her.
I was gonna say, wasn't that iDubbbz?
No, I think she like originally. I think she originally said the N-word, and then like iDubbbz was like proving a point to her by saying the N-word as well. But like it was of course unacceptable completely. And you know, a lot has changed since then.
People are ignoring this because nobody is working harder to bury this story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people.
I suspect this is the reason why people were saying like, Hasan, your silence is deafening on the matter, as though like this is in my purview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suspect that was the reason.
People like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of.
Shouldn't this be a legal issue and drama is a stupid way to approach actual legal claims? I think, as far as I understand, and I'm not like the most knowledgeable on this issue at all, but as far as I understand, I think the statute of limitations is probably passed, even though, given the age of both parties involved, Tana Mojo being 17 at the time, Cody Ko being 25 at the time, and knowingly engaging in what is known as statutory on a minor, okay, it's still a crime, despite the fact that the statute of limitations is most likely passed at this point. Having said that, obviously it could be, Cody could still be open for civil litigation, but the way that I've seen Tana talk about it seems like she just wants closure rather than like pursuing him with any kind of litigation. Now, I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm just simply reacting to what I have seen since everyone was like, you have to talk about this, you have to cover this story, and I like looked into it a little bit. No, the age of consent is not 17.
What is it in America?
It varies state by state. Some states have like Romeo and Juliet laws, which like give allowances to to people who are like in a relationship within an age range that is like a little bit more appropriate.
Okay.
But in the state of Florida, it's still 18.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of those a lot of the Romeo and Juliet laws like don't matter when it's, you know, when you're over the age of 21. Usually it's immoral. He was 25, she was a minor, period. Yeah, I mean, I don't think a single person is going to argue against that. This is not a libertarian community. Okay, no one's gonna be like, hold on now. Wait a minute, what? Like, no, it's yes.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, this is not the Republican National Convention, chatter. We were just simply watching the RNC. We are not in the RNC, so I don't know.
You weren't presenting there? I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I wanted to really bad, but then they heard my opinions on age of consent, and they were like, no. You can't do that. This happened in Florida, and it's 8 years civil and criminal since she turned 18. We looked into it on stream, so it just passed out of limitations. Yeah.
Mental gymnastic to just ignore it.
I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video because I can't do that based on someone else's allegations. Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, but at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated as an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now. And from the way the situation keeps popping up more and more often, it's clear that there's only so much rug sweeping you can do before people start taking a closer look at things. So let's take a closer look. We both know that Tana Mongeau is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called Cancelled with Tana Mongeau. And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that. I was literally 17, I can say that.
This clip started making the rounds, and people were...
Now?
Yeah, because he's a little dick.
He's a little dick.
They're like, damn,
I
bro.
understand the drama.
You got a baby, they get out of here.
Get out.
Oh, gross. That's what it is. God, I do love Tana. Like, I do think she has a way about her that is very like, I get why she has a massive following. I get why she's just very funny. This is like, albeit a very traumatic retelling of events, but even then she has a way of just like turning that into a humorous situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Understandably perturbed, because if Tana Mongeau was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating, and Tana decided to set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you, and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear,
who's Cody Ko? This person doesn't even know who Cody Ko is. Goes, Tana Mongeau is not a good woman. She's a horrible person. It's not in EU. EU is like 16. Tana Mongeau is not a good person.
You don't know who she is either.
Like,
if you don't know who Cody Ko is,
he doesn't know who Cody. He doesn't know who Cody is, but he knows Tana Mongeau, not a good person. Not a good person.
Woman.
We are not in EU. She is not a good person, but oh man. Okay, let's keep going. Well, we're not in the EU. We're in
it's true.
Florida, which surprisingly has the age of consent at 18, which is a big L for all the libertarians out there.
Yeah, that is crazy. Australia's lower than that.
Yeah.
17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place. So this means that Tana Mongeau is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Nothing would make this situation better, but plenty of things make it worse, like the fact that she was a fan of yours at the time, adding an additional layer to the power dynamic you would have had over her.
I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like, I was just like excited and a fan.
Tana seems to have many feelings about this, which we'll go over a bit later, but she stated very clearly that the actions she's accusing you of are inexcusable.
If I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something.
Tana literally lied to the Simon to pay for her friends, acting like they're her assistant and makeup artist. I'd never believe anything she says. That is the funniest thing to get mad at her about, because like the sidemen literally came out and were like, we would have paid for all of that if you just said they were friends. And she very openly said she was doing it for content.
And who cares?
Chatters literally will go, wow, two content creators who have more money than God are like having a fun little back and forth for our entertainment. And then they go, you know what, dude? That's real. I'm going to take it very serious. Like the sidemen literally were like, oh yeah, it was funny that she did that. Anyway, damn, Hasan, you know the real tea. I love this. Well, I knew this one because some of this shit pops up on my TikTok.
How did I know this? Was I here when you saw that? Or did I do this parasocial thing where I watched your stream?
Yeah, you were watching the stream.
You know, I was like, why do I know
remember
this?
when we found out about this?
Yeah, I do.
Like Alexa.
Like I would kill. I would never let it fly.
These recent allegations are bad enough on their own, but there are a couple of things that make them worse still. Things that many people don't know yet, but you do. You know that Tana has been making this same specific claim against you for years now. Here she is back in 2021 saying the same thing.
I was 17 at the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people.
Tana at 17 is not a 17-year-old American girl. Get real. Tell Tana 17 not to do blow. Tana is not the same normal 17-year-old. She was a millionaire who grew up way sooner.
But Cody Ko was also a millionaire.
Yeah, who
that
was
older
like
than
25.
her.
Yeah, what the dude, your brain is busted, chatter. What the like famously, people who notoriously people who get famous at an early age are never predated on. You know what I mean? By also sometimes other more famous people.
By older men in the industry.
Yeah, that is not like a story as old as time, you know? So it's good that the chatter chirped about that. But if she's drinking in the club, she's already underage though, so she's committing a crime herself. Bro, I heard she also jaywalked on the way to the club, dude.
It cancels out.
Yeah.
It cancels out.
Yeah,
Double
that's
jeopardy
right.
law. That's
Yeah,
it.
you can kill her now, actually, legally. Legally, you can commit murder. Your Honor, you don't understand.
She was drunk.
You're calling her a victim, but also, yeah, you're calling my murder victim a victim, but did you consider that she was jaywalking and had many parking tickets?
It's like George Floyd. Was that his name?
Yeah. But this time they're doing it. They're doing the George Floyd thing, but this time the Tenant Mojo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Ko.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
Say that?
Tana literally killed her dog and wrote a book about it and went on a media tour saying it was a good thing she killed her dog. Are you talking about Kristi Noem? Are you talking about South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem? who was a vice presidential candidate?
Is she also a blonde woman?
No, she's not.
I don't know if she did that. I mean, if she did, I'm not going to lie, a little bit impressed.
Super delegate. What the is going on, dude? Also, even if that is true, like, what difference does it make in this situation? Yeah. Like, people are like, bro, did you know that she actually underpaid her taxes in 2028? I mean, in 2028, 2023. Like, okay.
Years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside, and I was like, hey, man, you probably...
Damn, bro, this is the most deep fried. How the D'Angelo Wallace find this video? This is like what happens, dude. In this day and age, it's like impossible to like truly delete a video, but like, I guess this is, what she literally threw a cat and went on a bunch of podcasts about it and went on a media tour. I can't, bro. Why is chat turning into those like those bots about? Whenever someone like talks about Drake, bots start chirping about like how, you know what I'm talking about?
She
It's
actually
like-
made her dog eat her cat, and then she threw them both off a bridge.
Yeah, they were. At least the dog was full
Yeah.
at its time of passing. Chad was like, yeah, she was underage, but she was a truant from school that day. So who's the real criminal? No, I don't even know what Chad is saying. Chad sounds like those bots that who were they shitting on a lot? The bots would like constantly on Twitter. They would like write stuff about random rappers and shit. The Drake hate bots. Yeah.
We don't know.
Oh, Pusha T. Yeah. Yeah. It was about Pusha T. Pusha T ate his cat. Like, like that.
I know she like looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he that
This is really
That's pretty
bad.
crazy.
People make accusations all the time, specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way. And frankly, Cody, the allegations against you seem to have been corroborated. But instead of researching to find these answers like I did, many of your fans seem far more interested in.
If Tana was making those claims, then why did she pursue it legally? I don't know. Maybe she didn't think it was weird at the time. What are we talking about? Like, this is a very common thing.
Also, she said she didn't want to press legal charges.
Yeah,
it's
she
way
still
easier to
doesn't-
just talk about something and then going to the police.
Yeah. Also, she still, like, as far as I understand, she still is not like, oh, I'm trying to press legal charges or anything. Like, now that the statute is passed, it's become drama. I hate this shit. It's actual investigations need to happen. Otherwise, it's spitting of the wall. I feel it to happen. By the way, just the way it's going on now is so immature. She's capable of pursuing it. No, she's not. Statute of limitations is passed.
What is such a? That's the time period you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
and attacking your accuser.
I've seen so many comments, but what was she wearing? It's Tana, so who cares? Well, it's Tana Mojo.
The reaction to this has been unsurprising but incredibly disappointing, demanding proof that they know she can't provide, acting like she's only doing this to gain clout or ruin you somehow, despite the fact that she's never once put your name in a video title over this. Or worst of all, implying that a 17-year-old could have truly consented to any of this. But let's be clear about one
That's
thing.
all people in the
That is not the
EU
case.
writing
Yeah, those are you
comments.
people.
They're
I
all
don't
French,
understand.
man.
I don't understand. 17 is too old, actually.
Yeah, that's
why
disgusting.
is nobody talking about that?
No amount of retroactive age calculations or what-if scenarios change the fact that what Tana described would be, objectively speaking, a crime. A crime which you've said absolutely nothing about. And even if this wasn't illegal, you remember being 25. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25, that nobody this age should need an explanation for why a 17-year-old is off limits. Because you remember being 17 too. Now, thankfully, Tana...
This kind of makes the Dr. Disrespect situation even wilder because he was like 35
Yeah, that's
with a
fucking
wife.
Insane.
Like, you know, I mean, it's across the board up. But it's just like, you know, not to bring that back. Like, Jesus Christ.
This personal experience with this isn't one of trauma. In fact, I've seen people defending you by saying, Tana said she doesn't care, so why should any of us care? But that's not exactly what she was saying.
I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me.
And even if something isn't consciously internalized as an identifiable source of trauma, the
Tana didn't say it was consensual. She was 17. It doesn't matter. There's no like, you know,
yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
body keeps the score.
I know things manifest in ways other than me directly feeling them. Like maybe I don't feel traumatized in certain aspects from certain things, and other things I do. But, you know, maybe they just manifest in ways other than directly feeling.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years.
You believe any nasty that's European.
Flag with a gaper?
That's so
Yes,
European.
in ways
That's a
other than
that's a
directly
British
feeling.
person.
The answer to why
100%.
any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic.
You just believe any nasty slag with a gaper that says whatever, I guess. Oh my God, British people. Oh my God, British people. What are you doing? Oh my God.
Crazy.
Nice to slag with a guy. Oh God. Oh my God. Taking a lot of shots against the EU today. Yes, that's what happens when I talk about this thing called the age of consent in the United States of America being 18.
Vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance. Because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
The most traumatizing thing of all of this really was seeing how many people like don't believe people or don't believe me. I feel so bad for all of these young girls because then they see that and then it makes them not want to come forward.
And you, Cody, are part of the reason she's been met with this reaction. Your status as one of YouTube's golden boys has made it possible for you to ignore a situation that almost anyone else would have had to respond to by now.
I know for a fact if you swapped out Cody Ko with someone that like people didn't like that.
A lot of people, by the way, they were like, "Oh yeah, I knew he was always like this." Like Dude, I've known this dude for 10 years. Like we've done content together in the past. Like I've been on his podcast and shit. I had no idea. He never gave off the vibes that he was like a creepy person that would do a thing like this at all. Like I had no clue. So if I didn't know, I'm shocked that chatters picked up on it from behind the camera when you're watching these people like put their best face forward.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway.
Much.
Oh my God.
I would be receiving so much more sympathy.
I find your silence on the situation to be uncomfortable because I know that if Tana's allegations are true, then silence would be your only option, since telling the truth would be tantamount to confessing to a crime, and lying would put you at risk of being contradicted by a...
Especially because like this juxtaposition is more glaring because he is like, him and Noel have a pretty progressive audience.
Yeah.
I've often like held them up as like, you know, content creators who are pretty progressive that don't, you know, make their politics immediately known. And I think ultimately like they have cultivated an audience that is also like-minded, progressive, and probably like a big chunk of their audience is women too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure it's very high.
Yeah. So it's just like his wife seems like a nice lady. Yeah, Kelsey is a wonderful person. Like it's odd.
It's also just weird he hasn't addressed it. Like
this
first came up, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he's just still uploading the same videos.
Yeah. Is the law really an issue here? Like they're both in a state in a country, the age of consent was 17. This would still be problematic. Yes. I think it still would be
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. It would still be weird. But I think beyond that, it's like weird that he hasn't said anything about it. He hasn't like, you know, it's just weird that he hasn't said anything about it at all over all these years. He hasn't like tried to make amends or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because like, I'm not the type of person who thinks that like, you know, people are impossible to redeem. Okay. I'm not. I don't think that there is a single person out there that is like, I'm always going to be a firm, committed believer in rehabilitative justice. But the first step in that process is admission or recognition of the wrongdoing and seeking out atonement. So like, if you don't do that, which he's not really doing, and like actively running away from this, then it is, you know, that's just ridiculous.
A witness. And like I told you,
how can you say that? Chatters who have just never been in here before being like, wow, how can you say that? It is like
he should be shot.
It is a foundational it is a foundational principle that I hold on to for everything.
At the beginning, I'm not accusing you of committing a crime, but even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best. Why are you choosing the path that would be your only option if you were guilty? Now, some seem to think that you're not obligated to speak up, and maybe that's what people around you are telling you as well. But from one creator to another, you absolutely have an obligation to, at the very least, call out the misogyny, the victim blaming, and all manner of cognitive dissonance that's coming from your audience in the name of defending you against allegations that you're too cowardly to address. And to be clear, this is cowardice. dangerous because you demonstrate it whenever there's controversy afoot. Tana's further claims make it sound like you're terrified.
I said something about it online and it was starting to surface, and he texted me like, are we good? And was like, I said, yeah. And like, he was like, my wedding's coming up.
You do have a history of making bad choices when you're terrified of people finding things out, like your history of using slurs.
7, 8, 9.
There's more clips than that, but the reason most people are blissfully unaware of them is
Cody didn't even know the other lyrics. He just wanted to say the N-word. Yeah. That clip is so far back, lol. Bro, hit the record button for that. Yeah, dude, this is... I feel like this is from an era, like obviously this is completely unacceptable, but this is from an era where like they'd beat your ass if you were a white dude who didn't say the N-word. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're talking like 2010.
Yeah. Well, it was like in my school, no one said the N-word in 2010, not because we weren't allowed to say it, but we just didn't know what the was. It wasn't even a thing
well, you're
in
Australian.
Australian culture yet.
You're Australian, it's different. You guys have a separate one. That was 2014, I believe. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like, yeah, in order to get a YouTube button, you got to say it. Yeah. It's so true. It's like, dude, and I mean every YouTuber, every white YouTuber, Viner, whatever from the era, from like, you know, up until like 2016, I would say, and some even after have had that moment. You know what I mean?
It's because you posted your vague apology, not on Twitter, not on YouTube, but on Patreon, despite acknowledging in your apology that the clips were surfacing on Twitter. This is one of many examples.
Hey, y'all. Some old vines where I say some really insensitive things have been surfacing on Twitter. They were really ignorant videos, and I wish I never made them. Last thing I want is for someone to feel alienated because of something stupid I said. It was a mistake, and I'm sorry I let you down, Cody.
Acknowledging in your apology that the clips were surfacing on...
Bro, his apology got 288 likes, dude. Ain't nobody saw that. Ain't nobody saw that shit. Is the iDubbbz thing, right? His content cop on her, which he has rescinded, tried to take the route of either all words are okay or none of them are okay. No, I don't think that's what Cody was doing. No. But I do think that... he paywalled the apology is crazy.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like, the thing is... I mean, this is self-preservation. Like doing this is self-preservation to be like, oh, I'm still doing the right thing, guys. Like, look at me. Obviously, the other side of this is like when you are not interested in self-preservation and truly trying to make things right, like iDubbbz did, people still go after you so hard. Now, obviously, Cody himself never like took it to the iDubbbz route, with the exception of this Tana stuff that's now coming out. So I think even at that time, if he just like came out and was like, yo, this is what I did, I'm so sorry, it's like being resurfaced, it was so stupid or whatever, it probably would like, I think his fan base would not have been like, that's really f***ed up, you know? But let's continue.
Twitter. This is one of many examples of your poor handling of controversy. Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos, until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States District Judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented to anything at all. You had this man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram, and at some point you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't. But now,
bro, what is this dude got you in a spell? What's happening?
Like, I don't understand. Like, obviously, you shouldn't be friends with the rapist. You should remove that man from your life. But why is he still posting photos with him as well? He doesn't care about it at all.
Nah, dude, I ride for this. You don't understand me, okay? You don't understand me, dude. This is my guy. What?
He just doesn't care.
What the? Bro, that is like, oh my God. okay, I thought like
he was the best man.
Like
apparently,
I didn't realize it was getting worse than where it had gone. That's crazy.
Your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to your decision to stay silent about this should be all the proof you need that that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence.
All of this stuff is from a long ago. Couldn't you have said he's changed? I'm not talking about it as weird as though. I mean, dude, once again, the point of contention, that would be something that people are ruthless about regardless. Okay? But there is no reason to change if you are never really held accountable. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will, by the way, a lot of people will not ever look at you the same way. A lot of people will never look at you the same way after that. They'll be like, oh yeah, you're done. You're done. Okay? Problem is, if there's never a point where you take accountability for it and you sweep it under the rug, then there's never been a moment for atonement. There's never been a recognition. You know what I mean?
This isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments, removed because they could, quote, instigate drama, or more commonly, just locked and or removed with no reason given whatsoever. I'm sure whoever is doing this thinks they're helping you, but you should probably tell them that they're making things look 10 times worse. But it's not just your moderators, it's your friends and fellow YouTubers too. It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking about channels that never would have discussed something like this either. I mean the same channels that were rightfully calling out people like Dr.
Oh my God, that's why everybody was coming in here being like, you talked about Dr. Disrespect. Why didn't you talk about Cody Ko? That's why you motherfuckers are so dumb in this community. I swear to God, dude. Oh my God, bro.
Disrespect for text.
I don't think he's taking shots at me, brother. I think he's taking shots at, like, you know, channels that regularly cover things like this and things like this only. Okay?
Also,
a minor, which are the same channels that are.
Yeah, I know. Keep that same energy. Why in the ever-loving would I not keep the same energy? Yeah.
Now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being accused of doing something much worse. You can't say it's because the allegations are unconfirmed, because the channels that I'm talking about discuss rumors all the time. And this video is all the proof you need that there's still plenty to discuss even without making definitive statements. The general public may not know about the situation, but I promise you anyone who's online enough to run a YouTube channel does.
The amount of people in this industry who like want to protect him.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he probably means like the largest channel that he would be calling out in a situation like this would be like, you know, Charlie, who I think has covered it after this video.
Yeah, all the clear drama channels.
Yeah, all the channels that like regularly do commentary on like YouTube stuff, influencer culture, things like that. You know, I don't think he means like, why isn't the channel that has been predisposed with covering the ongoing act of genocide in fucking Gaza for the past 9 months taking a sidestep here like he did with Dr. Disrespect, who I obviously had personal involvement with not only him, but all the other people around him. And also beyond that was, you know, was a massive content creator in my space. Cody Ko, on the other hand, is a YouTuber with a massive normie audience, Very different. That's why there's still people going, who the Cody Ko in the chat. Like, Cody Ko, I would say, is obviously more relevant than Dr. Disrespect in the broader sphere.
In the YouTube sphere.
In the YouTube sphere especially. But Dr. Disrespect is significantly more relevant on Twitch because he got banned off Twitch. Not that I need to like explain to you guys anything, obviously. I've never in my history once like covered for someone who has done horrible shit after finding out that they've done horrible shit. So there's no reason for you to, you know, come in here with like some cynical ass attitude.
And are like talking to me in a way where it's like they, you know what I mean? Like, or even just friends like, but I love him.
The community's silence on this has been so staggering that people are now saying that commentary YouTube is a boys club, aka a male-dominated space that mistreats women while enabling and protecting men. And the truth is, Cody, whether you're guilty or not, you are being enabled to ignore this and protected from having to respond as an act of misogyny towards Tana Mojo. We both know that on our side of commentary YouTube, any man can easily elevate himself by dunking on misogynists in his content and espousing a generally feminist viewpoint. But if that viewpoint turns to silence the moment a situation is no longer cut and dry, then that viewpoint was a brand strategy, not a belief. The misogyny that we should be discussing is right here in the community, yet the only thing I'm hearing is a bitter, hollow silence, one that you have the power to end. I said it in the beginning, I said it in the middle, and I'll end with this. One person's testimony does not give me the right to accuse you of doing anything illegal, but I can point out the facts. It's a fact that you and Tana were around each other during the year she specified, as seen in your uncomfortable collab videos, which are still online. It's a fact that Gabby Hanna has made claims that seem to corroborate Tana's allegations against you. And it's a fact that you are suppressing your audience's knowledge of these allegations by censoring your YouTube comment section. These things may not prove Tana's allegation, but you better believe that they contextualize them in a way that you need to address. And you still have every right to address this, even now. If you have a side of the story that we're missing, then tell it. If I have my facts wrong, say something. Nobody should ever be denied the right to tell the truth, no matter what. I'm sure we can all agree that everyone should have the right to speak their truth, but that's exactly why I couldn't just sit here and watch the whole world tell Tana that it doesn't apply to her. Regardless of the truth of the situation, I'm just so disappointed either way.
When did you first hear stuff about this? Not blaming you for not talking about this D'Angelo Wallace video and the subsequent like people coming to me and being like, dude, I can't believe you haven't covered Cody Ko.
I feel like I heard about it like 3 weeks ago, but I make guns on shoes. I was going to be like, I did a thing video about Cody Ko.
It's like, duh.
That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Well, I wonder if he's going to respond.
I don't know, but like I said, it's a weird situation, only made additionally weird by the fact that he's like he has garnered a massive progressive audience. Like he has a very progressive audience overall. He has an audience that has like a lot of women in it specifically. And the reason why he has that audience is because like the way he has presented himself, overall, and I never really thought that he was anything different than this either. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Is a relatively progressive guy. Like, you know, he makes fun of he makes fun of misogynists and the like. I need you to look. JD Vance has really pretty eyes. This is so important. You need to flick the bean and then come back, okay? Jerk off before you post. That's crazy. You're in a deep place. You're in a dark place right now, Alpha Josie. Okay, go. Get out of here. Go flick the bean, okay?
He's giving you permission. Go.
Yeah, do it. Do it right now. Come back after, okay? You need to, you got the prenup mindset. You need to have post-nut clarity.
Please.
And you might need Jesus, actually, as well. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Anyway. D'Angelo's video is really great. I'm glad it caused a larger call out so people can be aware of the situation. Yeah, I think he did a very good job showcasing all of the evidence. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
How do you think Kelsey feels? I don't, dude. Come on, it's probably shitty.
Yeah.
Like,
how would you feel?
she feels great.
Yeah.
Probably like, this is awesome.
Sick. You're on the news again,
This
Cody.
is my husband who I have a child with. This is sick. Super cool.
I mean,
Anyway.
at least it's good to know that his podcast name is accurate. You know, out of all that.
Oh my God, Tiny Meat Gang.
Yeah.
Damn.
It wasn't lying, and
Damn.
that means what she said was true. You know, it confirms all of it.
They got married shortly after the news came out. Dude, I doubt that he was like timing it. That's crazy.
Gotta lock this one up after this.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't think that's like that.
Well, I'm gonna go get drunk with Ludwig now.
All right, have fun. Good luck.